Tanner Dakman Productions, and welcome to Cudahy Rail. As you can see, I'm back in this heat again after reviewing the video that I made sitting on my stool. I noticed it put me real close up to the lighting, and the lighting in that video was horrible. So I had to figure out the lighting aspect of how to properly place lighting so I can shoot videos from that stool. In the meantime, I'm sitting back here, but as you guys can see, I still have the stool. I'll still use it. I just right now, until I figure out the lighting, I'm going to continue to use this chair. And but at any rate, moving forward, today we're going to do a little comparison. Going to do K-Line versus Atlas O. So we'll be comparing a Atlas O depressed center flat car with a K-Line depressed center flat car. Do you own a depressed center flat car? Well, you can cheer it up by buying a Conrail caboose to have it as a friend for it. I know, but anyway, so I've been researching K-Line trains a little bit more in depth because I wanted to learn a little bit more about them. I noticed there was different color boxes. There's a red and a black, a blue and a black. They call this a gold and black. And so far, I'm not saying all of them, but so far, the red and the black and the blue and the black boxes seem to be all O27. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Originally, I thought, well, maybe the gold boxes, they made gold so you could instantly recognize that it's O scale, meaning it's true scale. After doing some research, that's not true either. It was just a matter of different color packaging that they came up with over time. It sure as heck would have made it a lot easier doing that, like with MTH Premier is purple and Rail King is yellow. I thought maybe K-Line did the same thing, but they did not. So I found out that the gold boxes were for both, for O27 or O scale, as you see here in this picture I'm throwing up there. You guys can see one box says O27, the other one says O scale, meaning that it's true 148 dimensions. So I'm constantly learning something new about K-Line all the time. For those who may not know, K-Line went out of business in 2005. There was an alleged lawsuit dispute over trademarks and copyrights. They fought a lot of money. They spent a lot of money fighting the battle in court, and because of the amount of money that they used, it put them in bad financial position where Lionel was able to buy them out anyway. So K-Line went out of business in 2005. The deal where Lionel bought K-Line was finalized in 2006. Lionel did continue some of the K-Line products and called it K-Line by Lionel up until 2010 in that area. So there are certain things that Lionel did continue with, but it was very limited. But at any rate, we're going to get these out of the box and we're going to compare them. Who's got the better detail? Because when I looked at this K-Line depressed center flat car, I'm going to break this out of the box so you guys can see. When I looked at it, I'm like, wow, that's got some impressive details. I think this would give Atlas O a run for its money. Now, mind you, this model was made 2005 prior, and this model just came out last year. So there is a huge 20-year gap, at least, between these two models. But yet, I noticed just looking at through the box, the amount of detail that K-Line was coming out with. I feel as though if K-Line didn't get themselves into that predicament and didn't spend all this money fighting court battles and they were able to survive the times, they would have given Atlas O and Lionel a run for their money. I kid you not. That's my opinion. Yeah, Atlas O's got some nice stuff, but, well, I'll let you guys be the judge. Who's going to be the winner here? Is it going to be K-Line or is it going to be Atlas O? Let's find out. So first things first, obviously there are two different types of depressed center flat cars here. You have the K-Line version, and then we have the Atlas O Premier version, which was originally an MTH mold, to be fair. So let's start off with the Atlas O Premier / MTH mold. I made a video on this already, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. But it's not a bad model. It's all plastic. The biggest gripe I have, of course, is the load is not that well detailed. It does come with chains. You have to install the chains. There you go. Here's the chain right here. The reason why I don't install the chain is because the way these are packaged, you would have to unchain it to put it back in a box, which makes it a pain in the butt if you do what I do. One of the things that I noticed about this model, I mean, you have details on the ends of the car, but you do have, I don't know if it's hard to see or not, it does have detailed springs in the trucks instead of simulated, which are nice. The trucks do not have rotating wheel bearing caps on them. That's par for the course for MTH. Oh no, it's not a bad model. It is really light for the size of it. You could have 4, 5, 6 of these in a train and not weigh much. Now here's the K-Line version. I'm going to pre-warn you right up front. This thing is made out of die-cast metal. That's right. This is not a plastic model. This thing is really heavy. Die-cast metal trucks. The only thing that's not metal on this whole entire car is the load. I do like the load on this car a little bit better. I also like how it's already chained down, because of the way they packaged it. It can be allowed to be permanently chained down. So the way I store my cars, I don't have to take chains on and off to put it away in the box, which I do like. One of the things I noticed right away in comparison to the Atlas O is the amount of graphics on this thing. Not saying that the Atlas O don't have its graphics, but for this time period, you gotta remember this model. For this time period, you gotta remember this model is from 2005 or older. I'm not sure when this came out, but look at the graphics on this thing. The small little detail of graphics. Let's see if you can get a close-up to that, what that says here. Just the intricate little graphics on this car. It's very nice. K-Line was pretty far advanced for the time period that they were producing trains. This is 2005 and before details. I gotta hand it to them. Even the steps and the grab handles are metal. They're not plastic. The brake wheel, metal, not plastic. It just blows me away. how well detailed this car is. Now, to be fair, you can see the Atlas O has its graphics too in here. There you go. I'm not sure about the underbody of this. Let's take a look. I can't imagine too much detail underneath here being die-cast metal, but still, check out the quality. Check out the quality of the trucks and the springs. Very nice. Let's take a look underneath of the Atlas O / MTH version. Again, I'm not sure what kind of details we're going to get. I was looking for airline piping or air tanks and stuff, but neither model has that. So again, the Atlas O Premier / MTH is all plastic. Everything's plastic on here except for the trucks and the wheels. I believe the couplers are metal as well. They are. But the rest of it is definitely plastic. Now, even though they're two different cars, the whole point of this is to compare details. A current model versus something that was made over 20 years ago. Okay, so who is the winner? Is it going to be K-Line? Or is it going to be Atlas O Premier / MTH? Really hard to tell. Comes down to some of the details, actually, for me. So on the MTH version, you have a molded in step. The K-Line version actually has a separately applied step. However, the MTH Atlas O version has the road number on the ends as it should have, and K-Line sort of like forgot that. We're comparing a 20-year-old model up against something that was made within a year, and the amount of details this model has is, for its time period, is unbelievable. So I'm going to call this a draw, because if K-Line has some detail that Atlas O doesn't have, then Atlas O has something that the K-Line doesn't have. They're equally both great models. We'll just leave it at that. Alright, so let's put these pieces in a train and let's run them.
Take the green. Over.
talk about these specialized center depressed flat cars. If you're considering running these things, two key points. Number one, if you're using Gargraves or Atlas track, make sure your track work is flat. If it finds a dip, what will happen is one of the trucks may come off the track, and then it will derail itself if there's a big enough dip. Number two, S-curves. This thing is not going to like tight S-curves, so if you have tight S-curves on your layout, you may not want to consider this. This needs a nice, big, long, sweeping S-curve if you have one. Preferably at least 1.5 foot between the two opposite curves in your S, and it'll run fine. Other than that, it's a great addition to a train. These are specialized flat cars, so you would see them once in a while. For those who are Western Maryland fans and don't have one, you need to go out and buy one, because Western Maryland specialized in flat car loads like these, especially oversized loads and overlength loads on flat cars. The Western Maryland did specialize in all kinds of loads like that. You can actually go back and research Western Maryland back in the day. They had some interesting specialized flat car loads, anything from ship propellers to overlength pipes to huge transformers. You named it. The Western Maryland, if it was oversized, they probably hauled it. Anyway, thank you for watching another Deckman Productions video. We'll catch you at the next train show, next event. Catch you trackside. Goodbye.